In this video, I'm going to show you how to handle a student that needs an accommodation where they get additional time. We're going to go ahead and do that. And then I'm also going to show how we can add extra time to any student in the class should they need an additional, maybe 30 minutes, some amount of minutes. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go into the roster for the course, and we're going to find the student that needs the accommodation. Now, you're going to click on their gear, and you're going to say Student Profile and Options. In here, you will see the time limit multiplier. Now this is literally a multiplier. So maybe the student has a time and a half multiplier. So we're just going to put 1.5, say update. And now the student will have a little clock next to their name, which shows that in the system, any timed assignment, they will automatically get time and a half. That being said, it does not adjust the due dates. So let's say the assignment is due at 11:59 p.m. on Saturday. This student, it will still be due at 11:59 p.m. at Saturday, but they will just have an additional amount of time to work on it. So if they had maybe an hour, the rest of the class had an hour, this student would have an hour and a half. Okay, so there is that. Now, of course, you can always click back in. Notice once we have the little clock, we can click on it and it brings us right back into here, or we can get here again by going through this gear, student profile and options. It puts us in the same place. And if you want to ever adjust that, that can absolutely be adjusted after the fact. And now the student has a 2-time multiplier. And then let's say, for example, sometimes with those 2-time multipliers, maybe it's a 2-hour class. So now that student has 4 hours to take the test, but they need to take a little break in the middle. Or something occurred and they lost connection with the proctor and they got locked out, and now they need to continue the test. Well, we have the ability to add time to their test. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the test itself. Or you could go to the student, either which way. We just want to get to their grade. So I'll go through the student, I'll click on their grade. And now right in here, let's say this is the problem, this is the test they need additional time on. So I'm going to go ahead and click the checkbox, say make exception. And in here, you'll see it's right here. If time limit is active or expired, allow an additional blank minutes, So there we go. So now we can say this student's going to get an additional 30 additional minutes. So now they are able to continue that test with that time that is needed. That being said, the neat thing about this is the time, the 30 minutes, let's say, for example, they're not in the test right now. The proctor called you and said there was an issue and they need to reconnect. This time will not start running until they click back into the test. So even if their normal test timer is expired, like maybe their 2 hours is expired, this will sit and wait for them to click back in before it begins. All right, so we're going to go ahead and type that in. We're going to go ahead and say record changes. Oops, we're going to leave that checked. We're going to say record changes. Do note that you will want to put in a exception date and time as well. Make sure that this is set appropriately because it's defaults to like a week in advance. So you will hit record changes and accidentally extend everything when you're just trying to give them an additional 30 minutes. So maybe that test is still today and we do not want to change that 11:59 p.m. deadline, right? We want to keep that the same, so make sure you fill that in. We're going to say record changes, and now everything is maintained. They got their additional 30 minutes, and the due date was not changed. All right, now we can go ahead and just click back to the gradebook, and everything should be recorded. All right, hope this helps.